Hey traders, welcome to MTI's Market Update. This is Kevin Dixon, Senior Trading Analyst at Market Traders Institute. And I've heard a lot of the news on the street. This is the end of it all. It's time to get prepared for the most bearish market you've ever seen in the history of things. Okay, well let's climb back off the ledge here. Not so fast, not so fast. A day removed from all-time highs, the SPYs. The S&P-Y is behind me. We're going to talk about seasonal consensus trading today, and I'm also going to take you to my 6 stocks that are in the box. Everything's boxed up and ready for you to go. But first, we're going to start with the SPY. Because why? All-time highs. To the charts we'll go right now. Check it out. SPY all-time high. Now that's on Tuesday, right? So since then, are we seeing a lot of selling? No, we're not seeing a lot of selling. As a matter of fact, this was driven by industrials. Technologies are going to start stepping in. But there's more to see as we look into the Dow Industrials. I got this drawn up very nice and pretty for you. The Dow Industrials are a little bit under pressure further. These are my charts, and you see a lot of lines here, right? You see something that looks like a sock puppet. That's exactly what this chart pattern is, the dreaded sock puppet. I've got a 50 and 200-day EMA. We're still supporting between the purple lines, which are technical support levels of 3 and 5%. That's a technical pullback. So we're still waiting on the Dow Industrials to get moving and grooving. But guess what decided to come back into play today? The NASDAQ 100s, the Qs, the QQQ, Facebooks, Amazons, Netflix, Googles. They've taken a few days off this week as industrials have led the way to new highs. But like I've told you all along, it's the small caps that lead the large caps around. The Russell 2000 ETF, IWM, setting new all-time highs today. So you want to take that fear and you want to sell it somewhere else. By the time that we do get into a bear market, I'm going to let you know. And when we do, I'm going to show you how to make a flippin' fortune. And I'm not joking about that. I don't joke when it comes to trading, because anything I say, somebody could look at as a monetary decision. So I take my business very seriously there. Everything else is just a joke. Jackson Hole meeting starts today. Boy, would that be fun. Not talk about taking a nap, listening to all those central bank presidents talk about junk. Who wants to be a fly on the wall there? The price will tell us otherwise. But the way that I'm looking at it, with the market setting all-time highs, this is still a buyer's market. You want to take some dips, you want to let those dips develop, and then you want to let those dips develop into a buy. Now, one of the things I wanted to discuss with you today is a thing in the market that's called seasonal consensus trading. I've mentioned this on a few occasions, but it's buying the right stock during the right time of the year. Remember, you wouldn't necessarily want to buy a home builder in the dead of winter, because that's not generally a good market environment to be buying home builders. So there's a logic and a reason to every season in the stock market, and this is no less one that's here as well. Now, we're coming out of August, end of August. After Labor Day, we've got 6 to 8 weeks of big grooving markets. This is the end of year rally. Happens every year. So we'll wait till after Labor Day, September, October, first week, second week of November, we'll start to see things wind down. That doesn't mean we're not going to be seeing new highs. It's just meaning that they will no longer be supported by the weight of trading volume. Remember, volume is the cause and price is the effect. So a stable trading environment is always supported by good trending volume. So I'm going to talk about a few of the seasonal plays. Let's go right back into our charts here, and I'll discover and uncover a few of my seasonal plays for you. Now, of course, I've got so many things to look at, so little time, and so much to see. So let's get to a few that we will review here, and I'm just going to go straight into my semiconductors view. Now, why seasonal here? Well, really, you see a bunch of lines all over the place. I'm just going to take you to the first thought here, which is AMD. Seasonally, chip stocks moved well in the third quarter into the fourth quarter, but there's been a pretty healthy market for chip stocks all year long. You see the targets on AMD. You also see my 357 rule structure. We won the target on this trade in 3 days. Knocked out over 8% AMD in 3 days. So my team is cashing out, even as this is popping new 52-week highs. Why do stocks like AMD and stocks like NVIDIA, and I know this chart looks complicated, but don't worry about that. Why do these things matter? It's the Internet of Things. It's the structure of the things. Not only is the end of the year very important for sales along the lines of Apple, along the lines of Samsung, and along the lines of technology and Christmas that translate, but here behind me with some of our chip makers like AMD, NVIDIA, Micron, it's all about creating infrastructure within the cryptocurrency market. So this has not been a year where Bitcoin has done so well. Remember this time last year, everybody's buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Do you hear that? It sounds like a bubble burst. Bubbles burst. And so 6,500 bucks is below what we're seeing on Bitcoin today, but it's not Bitcoin today that matters. It's Bitcoin tomorrow that matters. It's Bitcoin 10 years from now that matters. Stocks like Nvidia, stocks like Micron, stocks like AMD are laying the path for blockchain to continue to improve transactions. That's going to bring us to some of the stocks we have in the box. So let's talk about another seasonal consensus, and then I'll take you directly to the box. I'm going back into the charts here as well, and I'll pull up another basket for you. And let's get to where we've got them set up there. And you see I've got so many beautiful baskets. Here's retailers. Okay, retail looks pretty good. We've had some strong moves this last week. Costco continues to crash new highs. Why retail right now? Because it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Sure, you have to get to Thanksgiving first, but you'll notice by the time September, October rolls around, you're not going to be able to walk in the store where you don't see Santa Claus staring at you. It's true. It's a retail holiday, so who's going to put the most into the chips there? Retail. So there's some good ones, and I've talked about the clothiers like American Eagle Outfitters, Nordstrom. We've still got some big names here. Going back into the charts, and we'll talk about a few more here. And I've got a couple that I like to keep. AEO, American Eagle, took out every flipping target I wrote for this. It hit the big target yesterday at 29.58, finishing yet another one of our 357 roll structure sequence. 357 rolls are a goal-setting roll set. Urban Outfitters crashed new all-time highs yesterday on earnings. You see this big red candlestick? That is called fading the gap. It gapped up, the seller stepped in, drove the price back down. It's a great day trading opportunity. The thing about Urban, hey, look, it was enough to break out of that range with some big earnings. We've been talking about Urban for months, just completing that cycle in that sequence. Check out Ross. Ross is reporting earnings after market close today. We're also above every target I wrote for this trade. Yes, it is this easy to trade in the stock market. Yes, it is this easy to be a winner, chicken dinner when you're trading your plan. Here again is yet another one, Lululemon. Another roll structure set, more targets hit. You know, to me, as long as you don't try and get too complicated, everything is simple. It's only when we try and get too complicated that things do not become simple. Some of the most effective trading techniques that you can use in the market don't involve a great deal of moving parts. It's just being in the plan enough to allow the plan to set up. So now it is time to talk 6 stocks in the box. I got some of my best picks behind me here, and I've got some ideas to talk about with you. And also want you to keep an eye on them because, of course, these are hand-selected. There's so many more stocks I could bring in front of you, but I don't want to take my toolbox and throw tools out all over the place. I just want to grab the tools that I need to succeed. So let's go right into our stocks on the box right now. Number 1 on the box today, Abbott Labs. Look at this beautiful chart. Alpha Bravo Tango. Now, again, cresting above 66. This is just slowly melted up. Melting up slowly is fine. We have a weird wickety tick over there, so that's why you see that red line going pretty well, but crazy. But breaking new highs here, breaking higher. I'm a buyer above $66, buying plenty of strike time on the call. Abbott Labs, number 1 there. And as I was talking about the Internet of Things, one of the things that's also incredibly important about blockchain technology is creating all these different transaction methods, right? And that's why a company like Square or even PayPal comes into the play in the Internet of Things. Learning how to accept cryptos as a method of payment, taking Bitcoin, taking Ripple as a method of payment, taking Ethereum as a method of payment. Well, behind us is Square. Part of Square's earnings is included because they own Bitcoin. They own a lot of Bitcoin because they're a transaction company. And remember, I talk about the Internet of Things and how this market is evolving. It is an evolving market. It's not about what's going on now, as I mentioned before. It's what's going to happen 10, 15, 20 years from now. That's important. And that infrastructure is being built. Just as the foundation of a strong building or a house is built from the bottom to build business up to the top. So Square is a really hot pick here. I missed an entry on this one 2 days ago because I was looking at too many other things. So let's get right back into our charts here. Wait and line up a new entry on Square above 78, maybe buy the $75 long call there. Exact Sciences, Exactamundo. Look at this turkey. It goes from below 50 bucks to above $70 in 2 trading days. A lot of momentum here. I think this is going to be good for a breakout. The breakout here is above 74. The pure momentum of the last 2 days trading is why that stock is in our box. Now check this out. Here's one I've liked for a while. Wayfair, this goes into a cup with handle formation, a classic breakout pattern long. We get above 128 and boom, there we are today. Wayfair, starting to get a little bit expensive. I was enjoying this in the $70 range, and now look, our little stock has grown up to $132 a share. Wow. So as I was talking about AMD before, AMD is a hot stock that's in the box. Clean breakout above $20. That $18 long call paid out like a champ, and it's up over 10% in just a few days. That's awesome sauce. Plus the fact that this is a smooth trending security, and at $21, $22 a share, it's really not too hard on the pocketbook, and it trades a lot of high volume. That high of volume ensures that if you'd like to convert it to an option trade, there should be no problem. Now, a stock that I left on our list from our conversation the other day when we introduced the 6 stocks in a box was Canopy Growth Corp. Canopy Growth Corp is a biotech company, and they create and sell medical marijuana. So here we are. We had a little bit of a pullback dusting on the day. A few of my teammates were asking about this stock and said, well, what is your projection on this? And I said, well, of course, the only thing you can project here is long-term growth, because in an industry that's growing, that's what the projection is long-term growth. So Canopy Growth Corp setting new 52-week highs today. I still think this remains a hot stock for you to keep on your watch list. Either way, have a great day. And remember, trade profitably. In order to win, you must take profits. Don't hold on to a trade and turn a winner into a loser, because then psychologically it's not there. Put targets in place and win that race. With Market Traders Institute, this is Kevin Dixon. Thank you again for tuning into the MTI Market Update. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.